Here we are in our core series product selection tool demonstration. We've already completed step 1, which is looking at what we're going to be laminating to. And in step 2, we then consider the surface energy, the substrate that the laminated part will be bonded to. In step 3, René, please take us through it.
Step 3 is where we look at any additional requirements, and then I'm talking about things like temperature resistance, humidity resistance, or solvent or chemical resistance. Is it suitable for exterior applications? So the UV resistance is an important parameter. And then also we look at things like shear, so load-bearing capacity, cost of course, and any additional requirements or certifications could also be considered in this step. Looking at the table that we summarized this in, so on the left you see the 9 adhesive families again we are talking about all the time, and then we have the columns of all the properties, let's say, that were mentioned to look at the right selection.
Okay, René, so let's go back to the example as we did in the previous module. So I have a dense urethane foam. It needs to be bonded to a polypropylene. Let's say it has a few requirements. Let's say it must resist a moderate temperature. It must take a higher shear load, and it must be UV resistant. So what's next?
If you remember, we had the 2 families selected, high adhesion rubber so far and tackified acrylic. With these additional requirements, for example, as you indicate here, UV resistance, then you see immediately that high adhesion rubber is not the right product because it's not sufficiently UV resistant. You mentioned also maximum temperature, Ilse. There also high adhesion rubber is not, let's say, the very good choice because we know those are limited in temperature range. And thirdly, shear, so the capability to bear some weight on it is not at all there for these high adhesion rubbers. So the high adhesion rubber option is off the table, but we are still left luckily with the tackified acrylic because the 3 properties we just discussed, temperature, UV resistance and shear, all tick the 3 boxes for the tackified acrylic. So we have narrowed down our choice here to 1 product family.
So here we can see how the product selection tool already in 3 steps, from laminating to then looking at the material that we're going to be mounting to, the surface energy, and now looking at the service requirements. So we're getting very close now to determining the correct product for our application. Just one more step left to really define which product we're going to use. Step 4.